Earthships. What are earthships? An earthship is a shelter in the style of architecture developed by architect Michael Reynolds. Earthships are designed to behave as passive solar earth shelters made of natural and upcycled materials. Earthships may have different amenities and aesthetics, but their main purpose is to be environment helpful and friendly. Earthships follow 6 common principles: natural and upcycled materials, solar and wind power, passive heating and cooling, water harvesting, sewage treatment, food production. Earthships are made from natural or upcycled materials. There are many useful materials for earthships that are upcycled, like doors and windows, but the most commonly used upcycled materials are tires. Tires are a strange material to use for a house, but for earthships tires are very useful. They are filled with dirt and then stacked to be used as walls. Earthships produce their own energy. Because the goal is to be environment friendly and because most of the time earthships are located far away from the grid, earthships need to produce their own electricity, most commonly through wind or solar energy. Earthships are passively heated and cooled. The design of earthships play a major role in earthships' purpose. Most earthships have a glass facade through which the sun enters and warms the earthship. Earthships are partly covered or inset into the ground. This allows the blank earthship to be cooled and helps maintain a comfortable temperature. When it's not possible to keep a comfortable temperature passively, you can use active strategies powered by the produced energy. Collecting water. Because most earthships are partially covered with ground, that helps collect rainwater. As the rain goes through the layers of dirt, the water gets cleaned and later collected at the bottom. Sewage treatment. The water that is collected is then used and needs to be put somewhere. In earthships, some of the water is used to water plants. Other more contaminated water is cleaned as much as possible and released further away from everything so it wouldn't contaminate anything. Besides contaminated water, you also have to take care of human waste. The way it's done in earthships, is the waste is collected and sits there for a while until it's turned into compost for plants. Food production. Having veggies and fruits is also essential to earthships as they are usually far away from grocery stores. Also, growing your own food is a lot more healthy than eating store-bought food. Pros and cons of earthships. Pros. One of the biggest pros is that you are greatly contributing to the environment by living in an earthship, which is crucial right now. Another pro is, you save a lot of money, because you don't pay for utilities. Also, earthships can be visually appealing, unlike most standard homes right now. Cons. The first con is, earthships aren't going to work in most climates, just the hot dry ones. Another con is that, because of the way earthships need to be designed, mold can be an issue inside and outside earthships. A big con is that, depending on the location, you may not have much rainfall, meaning you won't have enough water. Earthships can be more expensive than a traditional home, unless you do all, or most of the work yourself. You may not be able to grow enough food, as the conditions for plant growth may not always be perfect. There could be insects harming the plants, and sometimes plants get infected, preventing its growth. Because you are using upcycled materials, they can start breaking down and sometimes release harmful chemicals and toxins. Getting services like insurance can be a challenge. The biggest con is that, your lifestyle has to change and adapt to living in an earthship, as it is very different than living a traditional life. The future of earthships. Earthships are unique buildings and are great in how they contribute to the environment, but I do not think they will be something big and popular in the future, because of how unusual and lifestyle changing they are. They will not be the future, but we should look at some of the working principles, like solar and wind energy, and apply them in our homes, cities, and future architecture so our future would be environment friendly and leading to a net zero world. In conclusion, earthships are buildings made of natural and upcycled materials. Earthships are powered by solar or wind energy. Earthships are passively heated and cooled. Earthships collect rainwater. Earthships treat their sewage properly, and Earthships produce food. Even though there are cons to living in an Earthship, there are also pros. Earthships are not the future directly, but they are an example of how environment-friendly our buildings should be.